Hi guys, welcome to Storytime with Kitara. Now, before we get into today's story, please ensure to subscribe, like, and share. Please subscribe and support this sister. You might never know, you might pick one or two things that might help you out with something that you equally experienced, something that you're experiencing right now, or something that you might experience in the future. So please support a sister and be up to date with the stories of my life, sometimes fiction. Thank you so much, guys, for the support, and please keep supporting. You guys are familiar with this sound, right? Two, 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 two. So, as you can already see from the title, this is what today's story is all about. And in as much as many people find it hard to talk about certain things, I am not one who finds it hard to talk about anything. I bet therapists would love me because I'm an open book. But I feel like that's a bad thing, and I'm trying to work on it because, like I said, I can tell anybody just about anything. Or I used to do that a long time ago, but right now I'm trying to work on limiting myself as to what I can share with somebody and what I cannot, and what I may not share with you. Maybe I might share certain things with a certain group of people, and a certain group of people I cannot. Or I may not share at all. It's only between me and God. Because in as much as I don't find it hard to share anything, this topic is kind of sensitive. Just a little bit. Just sort of, yeah. It is sort of sensitive for me. So what led to me doing that, it was just basically feelings of worthlessness. It started with that feelings of worthlessness after a few happened after my life changed drastically. That was in 2004 when I was 10 years old. My mom had passed away in 2004 when I was 10 years old. That's where it all started from. That wasn't the reason why, but after some time that became part of the reason why. So it all started with feelings of worthlessness. So after I moved in with my mom's relatives, I couldn't stay with my grandparents anymore. So I had to move in with my mom's relatives. So how it started is the treatment. There was no physical abuse at all. My entire life, it was mental abuse. And I'm thankful there was no physical abuse, because mostly the worst that people go through is physical abuse and other kinds of abuses that are not mental. But never underestimate mental abuse, because it's even the worst kind of abuse. It could be top of the list, or perhaps second to the worst. So it was all mental abuse treatment. So I remember the first time when I almost did it was when I was the same age, 10 years old. And it was over a very stupid thing that happened. A very stupid thing that happened. So what happened is, it was my relative's stepson's birthday. It was his birthday, and the culture there was, if it's your birthday, although it never happened for me, if it was your birthday, there was supposed to be cake to be purchased. I think gifts too. I don't really remember about the gifts part, but as I got older, I remember, yes, there were gifts. And there was supposed to be more of a celebration to be held if there was time, like a party, and other relatives and friends would be invited. But at that time, I don't recall whether there was a party, but I remember there was cake. So what happened is, this cake was cut up into slices and it was distributed amongst everybody, and each one had a share. So I think my share was too big, if I remember very well. Not just mine, but everybody's share was too big. Everybody else managed to finish their cake the same day, but I couldn't manage to finish my cake the same day. So I decided to eat part of it and I kept part of it. I was like, I'm gonna eat this tomorrow. See, very stupid, right? And usually when this happens and people hear it on the news, they would be like, but why did he, but why did she? If someone left a reason as to why they, ended it all, they'd be like, but how can somebody just do that over this kind of a stupid encounter or this kind of a stupid situation? But really, it's not really the situation or the encounter, it's feelings that start to build up in you. So what happened now, the cake issue is the following day, I wanted to eat my cake. And then here comes my relative's stepson, and he's like, that's my cake. I want it. I want it back. Like he said, give it back to me. It's my cake, it's not yours. So I told this person, of course I understand it was your birthday and this was your cake, but this was my share. It was given to me. And this person became difficult. And they were like, give me back my cake, it's my cake. So I started building up feelings in me because I was used before I started living with these relatives. I was used, like sharing everything with everybody that I was staying with, and there was no such treatment like, yo, that's not yours, it's mine. So I started feeling like an outcast. I started feeling left out. I started feeling like an outcast. I started feeling like I don't belong. Like these people are my relatives, but they're treating me like I'm not. Like I don't belong. These are the feelings that started building up in me. Hence the feelings of worthlessness started building up in me because I was like, I guess I'm nothing to these people. What am I even doing here? So I said accepting is to say I feel like I'm not a part of these people and I should just come into terms with it. But it still hurts, guys. Like even if you had to accept to say I'm not a part of these people, it still hurts, okay? Because I'm a human being. And the nature of us human beings, you always want to belong, you always want to be accepted, you want to be loved, you want to be cared for. So it started getting to me, and this is nothing I had ever gone through before, because decided not to. I think this started with me when I was a kid. I wasn't the kind who liked having a difference with someone, arguing, or it just never sat well with me. So I would rather just lose the fight and let you win. That's the way it was for me. So like I don't want like to involve myself in this chaos or in this commotion. So I just gave this person the cake and I'm like, there you go. So that was the first encounter that made me realize I don't belong, and I'm not loved, uh, um, I'm not being accepted. Why am I not being accepted when we are family? That's why it all started from. Then I started building up feelings of worthlessness. Okay, that's why it all started from. So the first attempt was when I was 10 in 2004. So now what triggered me to attempt is this. The same person, the same cousin of mine, my relative's stepson, we were like playing and all that, and then this person gets stones, but stones made out of soil. It wasn't a stone, a concrete stone like made out of cement. It was a stone out of soil. So I don't know what game we were playing. So this person now gets the soil and they start stoning me with it. And it was painful. Like when they stoned me several times, it was so painful. I was like, this guy isn't playing. I don't think this is a game. He's not playing. So I ran away. And I ran into the bedroom and I started crying. And I was like, this is too much. Because remember, I told you the first thing that opened up my mind to say, yo, I'm not part of this family, is the cake encounter. And many, many other things came after that. But this just triggered it, and I was like, this is too much. I'm not wanted here. I'm not loved. I don't belong here. No one wants me here. Why? What am I doing here? And I had no ways to contact my grandmother. If I had to contact my grandmother, since I was too young, I had to do it through my relative. And how was I going to do it? If my relative is around, how was I going to say what I wanted to say? Because I really wanted to tell my grandmother, please come pick me up. I don't want to be here. So this person stoned me. I ran away, went into the bedroom, I started crying. And that's what triggered it. I was like, is it even worth living? And for a 10-year-old, I know you might be shocked, or you're not shocked, but for me, thinking about it when I got older, I was like, yo, I was only 10. Why did I think of doing that? It was shocking for me and to me. What's it even worth of me being here? What's the purpose of me being here when I'm not wanted? So I stood up from the bedroom. There was a pantry in the passage, but this pantry, my relatives only used to keep in equipment, cleaning equipment and parts, cleaning equipment for the house and for the car, and things like oils for the car and spare parts for the car. I don't know why that clicked in my mind, but I was like, I'm going to get something that is used for the car and ingest it, and I bet it will end it all. I didn't even know if it could, because I was too young. I didn't even know if it could or if it wouldn't. But I opened the pantry and I looked at every chemical I could see, and I looked at one that I felt, yeah, maybe this one can do it. I looked at the oil and I was like, oil? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know what that substance was, but it wasn't oil, and it was lightweight like water. It wasn't thick, I mean, like oil, but it was like water, but it had a very strong smell. And when you poured it out, it sort of like fizzled, like spirit of salt. When you pour out spirit of salt, the way it fizzles, like, but that wasn't spirit of salt. It was something used for a car. I don't know what the use was. So I got that, I put it on a lid, and I stood there. I don't know what I was thinking about in that moment, but I stood there first. I was thinking, I was just looking at the substance I had poured out, thinking. And then my relative's hubby's niece came through. Like, I heard her footsteps and her voice, and I ran away. And she came and she was like, what were you doing there? And she saw the pantry was open, and there was some substance that was poured out. And she was like, what were you about to do with this? And I just kept quiet about it. And she asked me again. But I really did trust this girl, because we were practically like in the same situation. If her situation wasn't worse than mine, I think her situation was worse than mine, honestly speaking. We were in the same situation, so I trusted her. So I thought, if I tell her, she's not going to tell anybody. She'll understand me and maybe she'll talk to me. So I told her. And I was like, I was about to drink, but I'm tired. And I told her what happened. Like, we were playing and this is what happened. he started stoning me. I think I remember he even punched. So I told her everything, and my relative's husband's niece was older than me. I think she was 16 at the time or 17. In spite of her being young, she was still older than me, right? So after telling her all that, like, he started stoning me. I don't know if it was just him or the rest also joined, but I mostly remember him. Like, he was stoning me. He actually even punched me or slapped me. I don't remember between the two. Either of the two. It's either he slapped or punched me. I told her all that. And I told her I was about to take that substance you found because I've had enough and I'm tired and I don't feel like I belong. So I told her all that, and I thought maybe she wouldn't tell anybody. But I think she got alarmed because she actually called my relative. My relative was at work, and she told her like what I was about to do. And my relative's reaction and comments, I know I was in the wrong, but I didn't like it. But anyways, people don't really understand like why someone would even think of doing that, because people have it all. Sometimes even people that have it all usually do. Sometimes even people that have it all do that, and some of them attempt to do it. So it's just all about the mind, honestly. It's not even about you being happy and being wealthy and you have a partner and you have kids and you have a house and you have a car. I think it's just all about the mind, honestly. So most people don't understand. Yeah. um and it's not polite to laugh and to critique, because yeah, I'll just say people don't understand. Okay, so she called my auntie, and my auntie was like, um let her do it. Why did you stop her from doing it? If she wants to take herself out, let her do it. That's why she told my cousin, let her do it. And she started calling my other relatives, not telling them out of concern, like, yeah, our person was about to do this, but she was doing it out of spite and fun. And she was like, can you imagine, like, she wanted to do this, and I was only 10, guys. I can imagine. To me, I don't know how other people feel about a 10-year-old, but to me, a 10-year-old is practically a baby, honestly speaking. I even tell myself, like, when I have kids, because I started cooking and doing chores when I was very young, and I learned how to cook when I was 10 years old. So I always tell myself, when I have kids, I'm not gonna do that. Of course, I'll be teaching them the basics, but I feel like for them to start doing the big things like cooking and chores is when they hit 13. That's what I always tell myself. Yeah, so that was her reaction and her comment. And I feel like when grandma received the news, she was more concerned. Grandma and grandpa were more concerned when they received the news. Yeah, they are the only ones who are concerned. And maybe because I have an uncle who loves me so much, just like my mom did. So I feel like him, not just my uncle, my three uncles were concerned, whilst the rest weren't. And they were making fun out of it. Yeah, that's all it was all about, honestly speaking. Because of the change that happened in my life, feelings just started changing. I started having feelings of worthlessness, hopelessness, not seeing my purpose of existence, not feeling like I'm loved. You know, when you're traumatized by something, you end up carrying it even in your adulthood. So you might find that you'll find someone who genuinely cares and loves you, but you just have those doubts. Like, I doubt, like, does this person even care? Do they even love me? And all those things. But right now, that's not the way I am. I'm just saying it generally speaking. Right now, I've improved so much. Trust me. Sorry about that. The lighting started tripping. Yeah, so the second attempt was when we had visitors over. Then they were looking for a certain location, and I had to take them there. And there was just a misunderstanding between, as I was telling them to wait for me, like to take them there. I don't really remember what I wanted to do, but I told them to say, kindly wait, and kindly wait, let me just finish this and this, and then I'll take you there. And then my relative heard something else. I don't know how she understood it, but when she approached me about it after I took the visitors to the location they wanted to go to, she was like, that was so disrespectful of you, and why were you refusing to take them? And it wasn't even like I refused to take them or to escort them, but she just said, you refused to escort them. She just said a lot of things, like a lot of bad things. So I tried to make her understand, like, no, I didn't refuse. I just wanted to finish this and this and this, and I was going to take them. But she just stood her ground, like, no, that's not what you said. So I was just like, you know what? Like, anyways, there was really no hope for me, like, going to university, because she already told me, like, I don't have money. And I tried to, like, find work for myself so that I could start saving up for university, but she stopped me from working. She kept my identity card. So again, I started thinking, and this was the second attempt after many years. And this was always with me. This thought was always with me, because I was just like, sometimes I just used to wish, like, why can't I just fall down and go? If I can't do it myself, why can't I just maybe get ill and just go? It was always in my mind, because it was something else. So that was the second attempt. Now I got angry, I got frustrated. I was just like, what am I even doing here? Like, I waited for her to leave, and I tried it again. And I poured some substance again, and I put it down, and I started staring at it again. And I was thinking. Now, let me tell you, because I don't know what I was thinking about when I was 10 years old, but now let me tell you what I was thinking about the second time, this time around, and the third time. What I was thinking about is, what I'm about to do, is it really worth it? I know if I do it, no one will feel pain. Maybe just a few people, maybe one or two people, honestly speaking. But what I was mostly thinking about is, I know, like, when someone dies, even the Bible says they cease to exist. They can't hear you, they can't see you. But what I was thinking about is, how is mom going to feel? Secondly, how is God going to feel? Thirdly, I was feeling pain for myself already. I was like I was crying I was mourning for myself, guys. Like, I was mourning for myself already. I was crying for myself. I was like, how am I going to feel? Okay, no, I won't feel anything when I'm gone, but right now I'm feeling pain already. And I just told myself, you know what? Man up, work hard, get yourself out of this situation, create a situation for yourself where you'll be able to live alone and get away from these people. And I got that substance and I poured it out and I prayed. And that's what I also did on the third attempt. The third attempt, I remember very well. It was in 2022. Yeah, it was in 2022. It came back again because there were so many things happening at the same time at that very particular moment, and then things from the past again started coming back. And I was thinking of the future. I was like, I don't see a future right now. So maybe I can mention a few things as to what prompted me to do that. It was work. Work really stressed me out. It was work. It was family issues. Family issues has always been at the top of the list. It was Not that this was like part of it, like a major part of it, but it was just everything like piling up. It was a friendship I lost because I really, really believed this person would like save me, and I believed this person would be there for me in ways nobody else has ever been. I really, really believed this person would become like family, my family. They would become my friend like forever. And this person was going through a lot of things the same way I was. So I felt like we understood each other. And I was like, yo, since we understand each other, I feel like we are really, really going to be good together. So I lost that friendship, and I lost something that I'm not gonna mention. It's that one is very, very serious. That one I can't mention it. So all these things were getting to me, and yes, so a lot of things were happening at the same time. And as usual, the feelings of worthlessness, hopelessness, not seeing the purpose of existence, not having someone, not having not having parents, not having siblings. Yeah, that was part of it. Not having someone who could be there for me while I was usually dying to be there for other people. I was like, yeah, so that got to me honestly. And at the time, since I had quit work, I was trying so hard to find work, and it wasn't working out. uh yeah, so I really thought hard about this, trust me, because I remember the other times I would just act, but this time I sat down and I really thought about it, trust me. I sat down and I thought about it, and whilst thinking, I was praying about it, and I was talking to God. Whilst talking the way I'm talking to you, not praying silently. I was literally sitting and I was talking to God. Okay, this is why I applaud myself. Like, each time I'm going through a situation, I always think of God, and I always think of my own well-being. On that one, I applaud myself. So I sat down and I actually even told God in the prayer, you've seen what I've been going through, you've seen what I'm going through. I've tried, but nothing seems to work. I'm sorry, I apologize to you. Please remember me when you resurrect everybody and resurrect me. Forgive me. Yeah, I actually prayed that way. Then I called this person who I said I lost a friendship with. Because before that, I was always complaining to them and telling them, please don't leave, I need you. You're the only one I have. So I called them and I made it known to them that I was going to do it. And this person, I'm not so sure if she thought I was joking, but I wasn't, because she was laughing. Or maybe she was just trying to lighten up so that she could talk me out of it. But she was laughing and I was crying and I was saying my goodbyes to this person. And honestly, I don't remember really what she said, but I think she was trying to talk me out of it. Yeah, I told her I was really serious, honestly speaking. And then I hate some weird sound. Yeah, so what the heck is that? Okay, so I had honestly made up my mind. Honestly, only you would understand me if you got inside my head and if you got inside me to see what I have been through. And some things, honestly speaking, as I grew older, some things I created them myself. Okay, so I actually started working on not making impulsive decisions. I always think very hard before I do something, and I always ask God in prayer to guide me. Yeah, so fast forward, at this time I didn't even have like enough money, but I managed to find some money, and I stepped outside and I went to a store because uh, there was like a shop in my area, a small shop where people in that area would go buy a few things. Everything was literally there, honestly, in that small store. I went there and I tried to look as happy as I could be. I didn't want anybody to read through me, but trust me, in this moment I was gone. Anybody could see to say this person is not okay, but I tried to smile and I tried to toughen myself up. I went in that store and I told the shopkeeper how much is insecticide, and he told me, and the money was enough, and I bought it. And before he gave it to me, this shopkeeper looked at me before giving it to me, and I looked at him and I was like, in my head, I was like, you mother effer, give me the fucking bottle. If you don't, that's what I was saying in my head. And then I could see that he could see right through me, but I was just like, just give me the effing bottle. And we kept eye contact like for maybe almost a minute. And then I smiled and I was like, what? What is it? And then he was just like, nothing. He gave it to me. And I walked out of there as fast as I could. And I was like, what if he's seen through me and then he's gonna tell somebody? And I kept looking behind. I kept looking behind me each time I was walking to see maybe if he was there following me. I walked and I went in the house and I sat down. I sat down and I held the bottle in my hand and I looked at it. And I looked at, it's so weird when I think about it. Each time I always wanted to do this, I would always sit down and look at whatever I wanted to take. I looked at it and I was like, what am I doing? I started thinking again. I was like, I can't do this to myself. I started telling myself I've always been strong. I've never given up. I'm not a quitter. Honestly speaking, I've been through some tough times, but I've never ever given up. Why give up now? I started talking to myself again. That's when I put the bottle aside and I prayed about it. Right now, I'm making it sound so easy, but guys, it wasn't. I'm just making it so easy, sound so easy right now, but only God knows. And I prayed to God and I was like, forgive me and strengthen me, please. I don't want to do this. I don't ever want to do this to myself. Help me out of this situation I'm in. And just help me, guide me through all this. Maybe help me forget about everything. I just started praying again. And I put it aside. And the type of insecticide I bought, this is no insecticide I ever used to buy. I always buy scented insecticide. But this time I bought something that I don't even buy. So I just kept it and I was like, in spite of it being strong, I'll just be using it for mosquitoes. And I kept it. And surprisingly, after that, I received a call from one of my friends from long ago, and she was equally a colleague. And she was like, our friend was dead, and I was in shock. And these two again opened up my mind. I was like, life is really precious. And the irony is, the same day when I wanted to do it is the same day our friend died, and this friend ended their own life. And that opened up my mind. I was like, I was just about to do this the same day this person did it. So there would have been two funerals. That opened my mind to I had to go into deep thoughts again. God, anyways. My friend analyzed himself, and if I'm not mistaken, it was practically the same day when that almost happened to me, or the previous day, or the following day, either the same day, previous day, or the following day. That also opened my mind. First of all, this was a very close friend of mine and a colleague. That shocked me to the core. Secondly, it opened up my mind. Thirdly, it hurt me to the core. I was shocked. I was so shocked. After talking myself out of it, before I received the call, I was still, like drained and low. But when I received the news to say our friend is dead, and actually he wasn't in an accident, he wasn't ill, he just unalived himself, I practically like woke up. I woke up like, I don't know how I can describe it, honestly speaking, but I just woke up and realized, yo, this is reality, this is real life. What was I about to do? What's happening? I was just shocked. I was in shock. I was in disbelief. Um, the whole time I was mourning this friend of mine from home. But on the third day, the burial, I actually went to the funeral house, and actually went with another friend to the gravesite. And after the funeral, I went back home, and that gave me strength, honestly, because I was like, I saw my friend lifeless, helpless, and that's what I was about to put myself in. So I honestly, I just told myself, I'm better than my friend, and I need to work on this. I need to fight through this. So I just, so now here is what I did afterwards. I just strengthened myself, even if I had no strength, and I told myself I'm not gonna quit. And I told myself I'm going to continue pushing, which I did. I continued pushing for work. I continued trying to be positive. Yeah, I continued going to church. I continued reading the Bible. I started studying the Bible with somebody. Not that I ever stopped, but I just started studying the Bible with somebody. I opened up. I opened up to them about some things, mostly family issues, because that's what's been affecting my life. It's the family issues. So I only opened up to this person about my family issues. Family issues is what's been affecting my life, and it's what's been triggering me to do everything that I do, everything that I used to do, everything that I ever almost did, and alive in myself. Family. Yeah, so I just started working hard, honestly, to get myself back on my feet, because I had put myself in a tough situation, and I felt like me putting myself in that spot is what actually even made it worse at that time when I almost unalived myself. So now what has helped me right now, trust me, and what helped me over the years and up to now, is honestly, it's hard, but it's just talking myself out of it, trying to stay positive, um, maintaining my relationship with God. I've never ever like distanced myself away from Him, even when I was doing bad things. I always had Him in my thoughts. I would always pray. I would always ask for forgiveness. So I don't know what advice to give you, honestly. I don't know what the right help is. I would really like it if you would comment what you really think the best help is for such situations. What's the real help? But I feel like for me, it's just turning to God, honestly. Turn to God and He'll guide you out of it. He'll strengthen you. He'll advise you. He'll he'll help you. Yeah. Apart from that, it's also in you. It's up to you to help yourself, because people are not gonna be there for you. I actually came to realize that when it was too late. Most of you will relate. Most of you that are kind-hearted, most of you that are generous, you would literally die for people, but when it's your turn to be helped, people distance themselves away from you. You're always there for them, but they're not always there for you. So people will not always be there for you. It's up to you, honestly. It's up to you to keep yourself happy. It's up to you to keep yourself positive. It's up to you to forget the past. It's up to you to move on. It's up to you to forgive. Just so that you can stay sane, okay? And just so that you can save yourself. Honestly, that's all I can tell you. People do say therapy works. I'm not so sure how that true is. Is it the talk that works, or is it the medication that helps people? I have no idea. But like I said, I like to talk a lot, and I'm an open book. I can literally open up. If I had to get myself into therapy, this therapist would be the happiest person. They would be like, my patient is not as difficult as yours because mine opens up. That's the kind of patient I'll become. I would literally like open up and all that. Yeah, people say therapy works. I don't know how true that is, but for me, I feel like maybe it's the medication that helps, because I feel like opening up to a therapist is just like you're opening up to any human being. Of course, they are professionals, they are qualified, they study behavioral things and mental stuff. But it's just like you open up to me and I advise you to say, try to stay positive. Try. It's difficult to stay positive, trust me. It's difficult to talk yourself out of negative, hard situations. So that therapy stuff, maybe it's the medication. Yeah, so that's all I can tell you, honestly. It's up to you, is what I said. It's up to you to help yourself. Secondly, turn to God. Third, you need support if you have family members, especially. But if you don't have family members that can help you out, then that's why it's difficult. That's why it's hard if you don't have people like to be there for you, especially family members. Family members are the ones who are supposed to be there for you. Friends can be there, but honestly, you just end up being a burden to people. So if you don't have any family support, then turn to God, and it's up to you to help yourself. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching.